Hey guys, hope you're well and good. Thank you so much if you're joining my live where I'm going to be talking into how to increase your levels of performance whilst avoiding stress, burnout, and exhaustion. Now, I have been in the wellbeing industry for over 20 years, and I am seeing more stress, anxiety, burnout, and exhaustion than ever. Now, here's the thing. We all want to perform our best, I believe, especially as business owners, team leaders, entrepreneurs. We are wanting to do the best that we possibly can. Now, when you are feeling stressed or burnt out or tired in your physical body and your mind is full of clutter, that becomes very difficult. And what can happen is we're feeling like we are running uphill constantly or swimming upstream. And then that becomes a perpetuating cycle because then we're reaching for things like coffee and sugar to really give us that false energy to keep us going, and that then leads to more burnout. So what we want to do is to become very aware of what is going on in our bodies. So I'm going to talk into a few little tips here to help you to really reduce the burnout and the stress and the exhaustion in your body so that you can not just short term increase your levels of performance, but on a long term basis too. So, the one thing that I'm going to start with is you really need to start to pay attention. Now, I always say to my clients is you cannot change anything that you're not aware of. And if you're not aware of what's going on in your physical body, which is the whole foundation to absolutely everything. Now, your health is your wealth, by the way, and without your health, you have absolutely nothing. And so it's so important that we start to reconnect into our physical body. Now, many of us have become disconnected from our physical body because we have not reconciled trauma or anxiety that's happened to us during our life. Now, if you think that we're traveling through life and we're collecting all of these thoughts, these beliefs, these behaviors, these ailments as we age, and if we're not A, listening to our body and B, reconciling that by getting some support with it, then we're going to be constantly collecting all of this stuff, which then makes our shoulders feel heavy. Have you ever felt that you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Well, that's because you're continuously collecting stress and anxieties of every single day. And if you're not doing things like listening to your body, doing meditation, getting massages, maybe even energy healing like Reiki, doing things like yoga to help to release tension in your body, then ultimately you're going to keep collecting that negative stuff, which makes life so much more difficult and ultimately leads to burnout. And so, what we need to do to really get in touch with our bodies is start to listen to our own inner wisdom. And we have to become quiet to enable that to happen. So we have to start to sit in quiet. And even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes every single day, to start a meditation practice will be transformational when you are really looking to perform your best in both your personal and professional life. And here's another thing here is when you're walking through life and you're collecting all of this stuff, this negativity, let's call it, this unresourceful um, energy that no longer serves us, it distracts us. And therefore, even in our personal relationships, we then, we're not present. So we're ending up, with the people that we love the most, not really being there, not being fully in the room because our mind is distracted with work stuff or stress from another situation, or our body's aching and we feel in pain physically. And therefore, it's really challenging to be present in that moment. So, the first thing that I would say to you to really increase your levels of performance is start to find a practice where you can start to become more aware of your physical being. So, meditation is brilliant for that. Now, if you would like me to send you a meditation, then I'm happy to do that. Drop me a message. There's tons of free resources on YouTube where you can sit for just 10 minutes to start your day, or even the best thing to do is just set a timer on your phone every single morning and give yourself 10 minutes where you're not looking at your phone, you're not diving into your emails, you're sitting and paying attention to the way that you're breathing. Start to slow the breath down, give yourself an internal body scan, check, am I feeling a pain in my shoulders? Where am I breathing into? Am I feeling calm this morning? Or am I feeling a little bit stressed or anxious? Start to pay attention to what is going on in your physical self. And when you start to pay attention, what you will be able to do is nip things in the bud so much more early than having things exacerbated over time, where then you're having to see a chiropractor because your back's out of line, you're having to go for a massage because your muscles are aching, you're then taking medications for anxiety, and it's just then over layers over time, and it's so much more difficult when you're already started on the track of taking medications, which if you'd have nipped things in the bud earlier, that wouldn't have been avoided. It wouldn't have needed to have gotten that far down the line. So important for us to start really paying attention to what's happening in our body and with our mind. And when you start to meditate, what that does, it gives you the ability to start to understand what's going on in your thoughts and what your internal programming is doing. So our internal programming is how we think and therefore how we feel. And if that is unresourceful and unhelpful, then again, you are not going to be able to perform your best when you really need to. So that's a huge thing that honestly, when I talk to my clients, I say, I'm not asking you to change your life, but I'm asking you to do small things every single day that ultimately will be life changing. So to stop to pay attention to your physical body and to your mental chatter is going to be massively transformational. And even 5 to 10 minutes every single day consistently will be hugely beneficial. It takes 63 days to rewire your neurological being, your neurological pathways. And so to sit in meditation for 10 minutes every single day for 63 days continuously will give you the ability to see what needs to be changed and to be able to rewire your neurology. And this is scientifically proven. And this is what's really exciting. You can see people's brain chemistry and brain structure changing over a period of time. So listen to your body, start a meditation practice, and start to really pay attention to your health and well-being, because ultimately, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a team leader, without your health, you have nothing. And I'm at this point at the moment in my career, in my practice, in my coaching, is I'm pretty sick of coaches saying, oh, let me teach you to have a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, or let's do 10K a month consistently. Like, come on, people. Let's stop putting all of the emphasis on monetary gain and material wealth when ultimately our health is our wealth. And without that, we know we have absolutely nothing. We are penniless without our own well-being, without our energy, without our own well-being in our physical body. We have to start to not burn out. We have to start to really respect our physical bodies. So listen to your body. And then the next thing, which I'm going to move on to now, is when you need help, and it can be help from a coach, from a well-being practitioner, from a massage therapist, from even your team leader, if you have a team leader, please reach out for help before you start to feel really stressed or really anxious or really burnt out. It's so important. Let's stop thinking that we have to do everything alone. Let's start to really reach out to those people. There's millions of us coaches and therapists and healers. You know, my first job, I'm a natural healer, you know, and whether you've been trained in a coaching modality, in a counseling modality, or whatever, it's so important for us. We're saturated as healers. We're all out there. There's really no excuse anymore for us not to be reaching out. I have healing and coaching and therapy, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because ultimately, if I'm not clearing myself out as a channel, and I'm cluttered in my thoughts and heavy in my body, I know that I'm not of service to anybody. And ultimately, as a business owner, an entrepreneur, an employee, you are in service to your team leaders, to yourself, to your family members. We are all leaders, and it's really important that we look after our thoughts, our mental health, and our physical health. That in itself will massively increase your levels of performance. And so, moving on to the final thing that I'm going to talk about, we have to rest our bodies. Nowadays, we're like our tech, our phones, like, have made it great that we can work here anywhere in the world, but also it makes us available to everyone at all times. So you have to set some really strong boundaries around who you're available to and at what time. So start to create a great bedtime routine so that you can sleep well and that you've disconnected from your daytime job or business. And then make sure that you have set times where you are available to your team leaders or your work colleagues or the people that you lead, so that you have that downtime, so that you can actually be bored. It's great. We've stopped allowing ourselves to be bored, which means that our mind doesn't drift off and do that lovely creative stuff that we used to do when we were kids, because then we just look at our phones and start scrolling the social medias and such like. So really important, get really strict with your boundaries around how people are able to reach you and at what times, and start to give yourself that much needed downtime, so that when you step into your role, into your business, into your jobs, whatever it is that you're doing, and into your relationships too, that you are present and your performance is at the highest possible the highest possible level that it potentially could be. And I'm just going to add in one final bit here. Please think about how you're feeding your body, because ultimately, if you're feeding your body things that are hard for your body to process, you're going to burn out quicker. You're going to get tired quicker. Your body's going to get exhausted quicker. The hardest thing that your body has to do is digest. And if you're eating sandwiches and sugar at lunchtime, your body is going to be really tired by 2 to 3 o'clock. Hands up for those of you who get tired at 2 to 3 o'clock when you've eaten a big lunch. Go for more raw things, have more smoothies, juices, and things that are going to give you energy rather than zap your energy. Start to be more mindful about what you put into your body. And I promise you that your performance is going to start to improve. And that's a relatively easy thing for you to do. Drink lots of water, think about what you're feeding your body, and thinking about what you're feeding your mind to. Turn off the news, please. If you want to perform at your best level, turn off the news, because all it's going to do is drain your energy, and it's never going to make you feel better than when you started watching it. Think about where your energy is going. You've got a finite amount of energy. Really be mindful of where you're giving your energy, who you're giving your energy to. Think about how you sleep, your sleep hygiene. Think about your reaching out for help as a recap here. and start to really to give that time for yourself where you can start to listen to your inner wisdom and the language that your body, she's talking to you, he's talking to you. Listen to your own inner wisdom so that you can reach for help as soon as there's a niggle. Because what happens is your body is talking to you, and over time, if you don't listen, then your body will give you louder signals. Oh, it's not just a bit of IBS now. It's now a full-on digestive issue, which you're taking medication for. Then you have to take another medication to negate the side effects of that medication. And then the hamster wheel never stops. And so I hope this is helpful to you. There's so much information to share here. Please reach out if there's anything that I can help you with. I'm here to be of service to you. Listen to your body and allow yourself the grace to perform at the best level possible without the burnout, without the stress, and without the exhaustion. You can be the best version that you possibly can be without getting sick. I hope that was useful to you. If it was, please feel free to like, comment, and share this video. Have a great day.